My task today is to talk about legal framework and preparation costs. Sounds not so exciting, but it is very important to set the frame. And we have always to keep in mind under which frame you are implementing your project. A couple of words on the big picture. Basically, being funded by the European program means to obey to a legal framework which is set by different levels of rules. We have EU rules, we have program rules, we have national rules. Compared to the past, we have a new hierarchy of rules. We have that the EU rules always prevail with regard to eligibility of expenditure, and then program rules prevail on national rules for eligibility. This means that while in the past there was the situation in which one partner in a country had something eligible and the other partner in another country had the same thing not eligible, this is no longer possible. This is all ruled by EU and program rules, and national rules are ruling only what is not ruled by the higher level. However, please bear in mind that this is only for eligibility rules. When we talk about all other rules, still it remains that EU rules prevail, then we have national rules, and then we have program rules. This is particularly important. It's important for example, public procurement, where you have always to keep in mind that if you have a stricter rule at national level, which is stricter than the program rule, you have to apply that rule. This is important also for other policies like environment. It's just remind that there is this big difference. Eligibility rules on one side, all the rest of the legal framework on the other side. Where do you find this information? You find this information in the implementation manual. There is this introduction, which has no number. It is just called introduction. Just keep in mind there you find a lot of information. There is not only information on regulations, there is information also on guidelines, which might be very useful. And then, of course, you have to refer to the web pages of your national authorities and contact points. Talking about the subsidy contract, just to remind, relationship, contractual relationship, legal relationship between the program managing authority and the lead partner. So it is a two-sided contract. It contains all the necessary provisions which are linked to the entire lifetime of the project and beyond. We talk about award of subsidy, so what is the object of the subsidy, terms of funding, reporting, modification, liabilities, etc., etc., etc. And probably you know very well the contents of your subsidy contract. And if not, please read the contract carefully. It's not something which is just bureaucracy to be done. It is something to be read and understood very, very, very carefully. What I want to point your attention on is the fact that the subsidy contract has as an integral part a table, which is giving you the framework for reporting. Basically, it tells you for each period when you have to deliver the progress report and how much money you are committed to spend for that period. This is very important. Keep in mind that this is integral part of the subsidy contract, and this gives you the rhythm and the frame for you for reporting. It's very important to fulfill the deadlines which are set there. And as you see here, and as it is also written in the implementation manual, you have 2 months from the end of the reporting period for submitting the contract, the progress report. This means, but you will hear a lot in these 2 days, to work in advance, to prepare the things, to ask your partners in advance to deliver information, and so on and so forth. On the subsidy contract, just to make you aware, not to scare, but to make you aware, there is specifically an article which is called termination repayment. Among others, it's a very long article. Among others, there are things like that we can terminate the contract if the project has not started in due time. We can terminate the contract if the project has not been or cannot be implemented in due time. If the output and results are not in line with those described in the application form. That's why the application form is crucial, and that's why we gave you so many conditions before getting the subsidy contract, to make sure that what is there is realistic and can be done. And the lead partner, if the lead partner fails to submit reports, this is also a cause for termination of the contract. There is no point of saying, I didn't know that the report deadline was that one. It is in the contract. You have to obey that. And a couple of words on the partnership agreement. So we said subsidy contract, managing authority, lead partner. Now, partnership agreement, lead partner, all the partners. So it is a multiple involvement. There are more parties involved, which basically the partnership agreement serves to transfer rights and obligations to your partners. Again, here there are many provisions. Among others, we talk about the obligation of the lead partners, the obligation of the partners. We talk about the project steering committee, which is a very important element of the management of the project, and so on and so forth. It is written in the template we provided, but also in the implementation manual, that it gives you the minimum compulsory requirements. What does it mean? It means that you can add things, but it means also that you cannot delete or change. So the partnership agreement has to remain as it is with the same wording which is there. You just can add things. You cannot change, you cannot modify an article because you don't like. It doesn't work like that. And the additions you do are possible according to the needs of the partnership. For example, when talking about IPR, intellectual property rights, could be a classical element where the partnership needs to further rule on that. But on the other hand, any addition must be in line with the program objectives and with the legal framework applicable to the program and to your project. So now we spoke until now about contractual obligations. Now we talk about money. Basically, we are talking about the reimbursement of the preparation and contracting costs. So all the costs which incurred for preparing the proposal and also for arriving to the moment in which the application form is revised application form following conditions for approval has been accepted by the Joint Secretariat. Until that point, whatever has been spent there is covered by the lump sum. There are three conditions for being paid out the lump sum. The first is that the project is selected and approved, and obviously this is fulfilled. The second is that the subsidy contract is signed, which is also fulfilled. The third one is that the project started its implementation. And to check this third condition for granting the lump sum, we want to have this supplementary information to be inserted into the EMS, electronic monitoring system, to be filled in. And there you have to put the name and contact details of project management team and national controllers, if available, of course, location of official project documents, bank information of the lead partner, otherwise we cannot transfer the reimbursement, and evidence of the signed partnership agreement. Once this is verified, once you completed this step, you don't have to do anything else. We will then take care to check what is there. If there is something which we don't understand or something to be solved, we address you and we ask you to complete or to change or whatever. And if everything is okay, then there is nothing else from your side to be done, and then we take care of informing the managing authority, which informs the certifying authority that your project fulfilled these conditions for payment of the lump sum, and then the lump sum is paid to the lead partner bank account, according to the information which is written in the application form. So the lump sum is total cost 15,000 maximum, and then the actual European Regional Development Fund, which is reimbursed, changes according to the co-financing rate applicable to the partners. So we transfer the fund, the ERDF, to the bank account of the lead partner, and then the lead partner has to transfer the share, if applicable, the share to the partners as it is written in the application form. The entire process is, let's say, established in the application form, how much you have to give to whom.